Some North Texans heard a father's story and knew they wanted to help. They're changing a life for a man who thought he'd never walk again. Ken Molestina has the story, all new at 5 o'clock.
This moment has been a long time coming. Julian Cela lost his legs in a bombing in Albania.
That day was like the worst day of our lives.
The young father had feared the worst.
The first thought that he had was that he wouldn't hear my voice again and would never see his son again.
Cela survived, but he lost both his legs. He thought he'd never walk again.
There are many people, like amputated people, businesses or buildings, not all of them have ramps, or not all the apartments have elevators. This makes life more difficult.
Hey, how's it going?
Enter Scott Williams. Williams is the clinical director at the Scott Savage Prosthetic and Research Center in Dallas. Williams has a friend who's a missionary in neighboring Macedonia who had heard about Cela.
He gave me a call, and we saw it as a great opportunity to reach out to an individual that just doesn't have the same resources we have here.
The donations poured in.
So our duty here is to get him back up and walking as best as he can.
After 4 weeks of nonstop rehab, Julian walked again, carefully at first.
Oh my God. Gotta control it.
Then without support.
He's attempting stuff he's never attempted.
And finally,
oh, it's amazing. I walk again.
And with that, the Celas were ready to make their way back home.
And I've told them time and time again, they will end up giving me more than I could ever give them.
I'm so proud of him, the progress that he has been doing, and I know that it needs a lot of courage. Each time that I see him walking, it's like a big dream for both of us.
I'm Ken Molestina, CBS 11 News.
Cela and his wife are back in Albania with their young son. He is still learning how to get around on his own. He'll come back to Dallas next year for a checkup.